The Wire is a show about systems: the police system, the school system, the drug system. It shows how these big, powerful machines chew people up and decide their fates. But within that, it's also a show about people trying to be people. And few characters fight that battle harder than D'Angelo Barksdale. If you haven't seen the show in a while or at all, here's who D'Angelo is. He's not a kingpin, he's not a cop, he's a middle manager in a family business. And that business is drugs. His uncle Avon Barksdale runs West Baltimore. His uncle's friend Stringer Bell is the smart, ruthless CEO. And D'Angelo, he's the prince who never really wanted the throne. We meet him in season 1 on trial for murder. He's scared, in over his head. His family's lawyer gets him off to run the drug operation at the pit. But D'Angelo is different. He reads books, he plays chess, he thinks about morality. He hates the pointless violence. He's stuck. He was born into this life, this game, but his heart isn't in it. He wants out or up or something else. He just doesn't know how. And you can see this whole internal war reflected in one surprising place: his closet. Today we're going to look at how D'Angelo Barksdale uses fashion, his outfits, his sneakers, his whole style as a tool, a shield, and finally as a trap. His clothes are the visual metaphor for his impossible quest to change who he is in a world that won't let him. Let's start with one of the most telling scenes. D'Angelo takes his child's mother, Donette, to a fancy, upscale, mostly white restaurant across town. He's wearing a sharp, stylish outfit. He looks the part, but he's deeply uncomfortable. He leans in and asks Donette, "Think they know?" She says, "Know what?" He says, "You know what I'm about." This is the first key. For D'Angelo, these nice clothes aren't just clothes, they are a costume for a play. He's acting the part of a legitimate, respectable, wealthy person. He believes if he wears the right uniform, he can gain entry to a different world. But his fear, "think they know," shows that he feels like a fraud. He believes the fancy clothes are a thin disguise. Underneath, he's still D'Angelo from the Barksdale organization, and he thinks everyone can see it. The system, in this case the class and racial lines of the city, has already labeled him. The waiter who corrects him when he messes up with the dessert cart just proves his point. The performance failed. Donette tells him, "Your money good, right?" She buys into the American idea that wealth erases all. But D'Angelo is smarter. He senses that where you come from sticks to you, no matter how expensive your armor is. This outfit is his first failed attempt to dress his way into a new identity. Back in his own world, the drug world, fashion serves a different purpose. Here, D'Angelo's style is about power, respect, and armor. Watch him at home before work.
No woman takes that long.
Yeah, but I look good, right?
He tries on multiple outfits, carefully matching his sneakers to his shirt. His girlfriend jokes, "No woman takes that long." And he smiles and says, "Yeah, but I look good, right?" Looking good here isn't about vanity, it's about command. In the pit, he's the boss. The crisp clothes sets him apart from the soldiers and the addicts. They are a uniform of authority. But the best example is the New York run. D'Angelo is about to drive to New York to pick up a huge shipment of heroin. It is a dangerous, high-stakes crime. And what does he do? He makes a special stop to change into a fresh, sharp outfit. McNulty, the cop surveilling him, mocks it. But his boss, Lieutenant Daniels, understands. He says quietly, "Boy had to get himself correct." Get himself correct. This is the ritual. This is the armor. He's putting on the uniform of a Barksdale lieutenant, like a soldier putting on Kevlar. The clean clothes are a mental barrier between D'Angelo the man and the criminal act that he's about to commit. If he looks controlled, powerful, and polished on the outside, maybe he can feel less of the fear and the guilt inside. The clothes are his psychological protection against the reality of the game. Season 2. D'Angelo is in prison after taking a plea deal for his uncle. Stripped of his designer wardrobe, now wearing a standard issue prison jumpsuit, he has his greatest moment of clarity. He's in a book club discussing The Great Gatsby. This is the turning point. D'Angelo connects the dots. J. Gatsby was a poor man who invented a rich, fancy persona to fit into high society. He bought a mansion, threw huge parties, wore beautiful clothes, and filled his library with books he never read. They were props, a facade. And D'Angelo sees himself. He was Gatsby. His sharp restaurant outfit, a prop. His carefully curated pit outfits, a facade. He was fronting, pretending to be a cold kingpin when he was a thoughtful man, pretending to belong in a fancy restaurant when the streets had already claimed him. He says the brilliant line, "You can change up. You can say you're somebody new, but what came first is who you really are." In prison, with the costumes taken away, he finally understands. Real change isn't about what's on the outside. It's about confronting what's on the inside. Your past, your choices, your truth. The fancy clothes were never a path to a new life. They were just a distraction from the old one. This new understanding leads to his final fatal choice. His family visits him. They have a plan to have his sentence reduced, but it means lying in court, staying loyal to Avon, playing the role of Avon's soldier. He tells a story from his childhood. When he was bullied, his mother wouldn't let him in to hide. She made him stay out and fight. She said, "I might have brung you into this world, but you're the one who's gonna have to live in it." Now he's using her lesson against her. He's saying, "This is me living in it, my way." By refusing the deal, he's finally completely taking off the uniform of the Barksdale soldier. He's choosing his honest, naked self over the survival suit his family offered him. And in the brutal logic of The Wire, the system doesn't allow that. In a world ruled by the game, choosing your true self over the uniform is the ultimate crime. Shortly after this visit, D'Angelo is killed on Stringer Bell's orders. The man who spent so much time getting correct was murdered the moment he decided to be real. So what does it all mean? D'Angelo's story is a tragedy of being trapped. He tried to use fashion in every way a person can, as a ticket to a better world in the restaurant scene, as an armor to survive his current circumstances in the pit, and finally as a mirror to understand that neither of those tricks work. His arc quotes another famous line from The Great Gatsby. "So we beat on boats against the current, borne back ceaselessly into the past." D'Angelo was always a boat against the current. His nice clothes were the oars he used to row harder, to try and reach a new shore. But the currents of his family, the drug trade, of Baltimore's systemic poverty and violence were too strong. They kept pulling him back. In the end, his clothes were a symbol of his trap. They were the uniform of the game, and no matter how well he wore it, it was still a uniform. When he finally tried to take it off for good, the system showed him that there was no way out. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive as much as I enjoyed putting it together for you. If you want to watch more deep dives into The Wire and other prestige films and TV shows like this, it'd mean the world to me if you gave this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. And if you know someone else who'd love this kind of deep dive analysis, please consider sharing it with them. It's the best way to spread the word. Most importantly, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. We're building a really cool community here, and I don't want you to miss out on what's coming next. And while you're at it, hit that bell icon next to the subscribe button. That way, YouTube will let you know the moment the next video drops, so you'll never miss a video. Before you go, I wanted to let you know that you can support this channel directly and deck out your space by visiting our online store. We've got a ton of fan art, alternative movie posters, and other goodies celebrating all your favorite films and shows. Seriously, it's a passion project. If you're a fan of one of the greatest shows ever made, you have to check out Pop 8's The Wire collection. We've got posters, we've got beautiful frame prints, phone grips, mouse pads, and more, all dedicated to The Wire. Whether it's for your office, your living room, or the perfect gift for that friend who keeps saying, "Oma, come in," there's something there you'll love. The link is waiting for you in the description below. My name is Vikrant. Thank you so much for watching. I put a lot of heart into this, and your support makes it all possible. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.